Hello, my name is Dominic Gialluisi, and this is your weekly update. Now, you may be wondering, why am I going to watch a show about politics and government? But to tell you, this is not a show about that. We will not be talking about anything that happens in the government. I mean, we may talk about if Obama does something real stupid, then we might talk about it. But the show is about people, for the people, and what people are doing in their lives. Because frankly, I don't care about government, and neither do you, probably. If you do, don't hurt me. As we all know, spring is in the air, unless you live in a cave, but you probably don't, because then you wouldn't have Wi-Fi and everything. Then if you did have Wi-Fi, then you would still think about it and hear about weather getting warmer. Well, anyway, since spring is in the air, it's a great time to go to exclusive sex parties. I know that probably sounds pretty weird, but in New York, you can go to an exclusive sex party, and you can hook up with whoever you want. No more bar scenes or just standing on the street hoping that someone acknowledges you and, just go like, hello, you want to come with me? Yes. But at one of these, you can hook up with whoever you want. And who knows, that might be your next future wife. Next, because you probably divorced so many of them that you're going to one of these. Anyway, you don't need an adult friend finder when you got one of these, if you know what I mean. Holla! Well, speaking of sex, earlier this week, a man's penis was snapped right off. We don't know how it happened or what happened, but all we know is that it got snapped right off. Imagine if you're the girl, just like, oh, honey, what happened? Well, if it was a girl, I don't know what he's into. But it was medically transplanted right back on, so no worries there. His penis is all nice and functional again. Okay, so we've been talking a lot about sex so far, so let's get away from that. Earlier this week, a woman was texting and walking across train tracks, and she wasn't paying attention, so a freight train was, just going along, chilling around, doing normal freight train things, like running and gates going down. I don't know how she didn't see that. But anyway, so the freight train was coming, and then so she was just like, how you doing, girl? And then so the freight train just comes and BAM! Whams her and, quote, flipped her and thrown in the air. Like, okay. And so she miraculously survived, and she survived with only fractured, compound fracture in her right arm, and her right leg was injured. Like, how does that happen? You got thrown in there by a freight train and you only walk away with a broken arm and a leg that's hurt, I guess? So speaking of people not paying attention, two teenagers in Wisconsin, they stepped onto ice in Lake Michigan, and the ice broke away from, the big sheet of ice by the land, and so they started sailing away on this little ice. And then, but instead of calling for help, they were posting on Tinder and all the social media sites. I don't think Tinder is a media site, but Tinder, isn't that for sex? Nice, sex again, noise. Well, eventually help did come. After half an hour of being on the ice, firefighters saved them with life jackets and hustled them back to the shore. Well, speaking of rednecks, because obviously rednecks live in Wisconsin, but some rednecks were cooking bacon with their guns. Wrapping it around the muzzle of the gun and crispy bacon. Apparently it worked, and obviously they ate it, so I don't know. I mean, maybe we should try it? I don't know. I don't have a gun, so I guess I can't try it. But if you do, I would recommend trying it at home, because why not? And I don't eat bacon, so that's another thing that's crossed off the list. But if you do eat bacon and you have a gun, try it, because why not? How would you get hurt? I mean, bullets going this way, and you're over here, so that's all that matters, and then you get crispy bacon from it. So two good things at once, because apparently bacon's pretty good. I don't know. So let's bring this show back to penises. A couple in Britain found Brazilian wandering spiders in their bananas. Now, if these Brazilian wandering spiders are ingested, then the side effect will be painful. Painful. Let me emphasize the painfulness of this. And then painful hours-long erections. So taking a good thing and then a bad thing. Mixed in together is probably going to turn into a bad thing. So, and then to make it worse, these erections are soon followed by death. Well, the couple in Britain is still alive, and they got through the side effects. Well, and somehow they managed to escape death. So, who knows? Maybe if you happen to ingest Brazilian wandering spiders, you can survive too. Well, speaking of food, somehow a whole potato managed to be put into a chip bag. So I don't know how this even happened, the process, because you have to slice it, fry it, do whatever the else they do with it. I don't know. I don't know how a potato managed from the potato pile all the way across the factory to the chip pile. I don't understand how that happened, and how it got put into bags, because, there's probably like a sorter, and I don't understand, but somehow it happened. And there you go, you were informed now. You're welcome. Well, speaking of bagged foods, in Cook County this week, over a ton of weed was found in frozen avocado bags. 2,100 pounds of weed was just found. Yeah, so the Mexican cartel is just getting way more. It's just fun to see how creative the Mexican cartel is getting in sending their weed over to the United States. My favorite still is the weed cannon. As you can see right here. They mounted a potato cannon onto a truck, and they were just going down and shooting weed over the border, hoping that someone would catch it. They just trucking along, fire away, sending that weed over the. Oh, that's just great. Until they get caught, but still, it's hilarious. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Weekly Update, and this is your host Dominic Gialluisi, and I thank you for watching this. And if you guys like this, I'll keep doing these because I kind of enjoyed getting all this pointless information and sharing it to you guys. Okay, thank you. Goodbye.